I witnessed the attack that brought down the celestial being at the hands of Kim Ki-Bong. His powerful strike left the once almighty creature a mere shell of its former self. As Ki-Bong returned to his normal state, Sis materialized next to him. In a surreal turn of events, Sis began to siphon or absorb the remnants of the celestial being into herself, a process that seemed to reunite them as fragments of a whole. However, the creature resisting assimilation launched a desperate attack against Sis. Undeterred, Sis, now the stronger entity, effortlessly repelled the assault, seizing the remaining essence of the being. Meanwhile, Ki-Bong, seemingly unfazed, unleashed the finishing blow that ended the celestial being's existence. The complexity of Sis's emotions during this process was beyond words, having transitioned from being a part of the being to replacing it entirely. Ki-Bong, however, paid little attention to the profound events around him as he reverted back to his usual state. Sis, understanding the weight of the moment, approached him with a congratulatory hug. Yet, Ki-Bong's mind was elsewhere. All he desired was to leave this place and return home. Sis, attuned to his wishes, opened a portal to transport him to his desired location. In an instant, Ki-Bong found himself back at the Seoul Capital Hospital, where his mother laid in a comatose state. Despite saving the world, the stark reality remained: his heroic deeds hadn't changed his mother's condition. The bittersweet return emphasized the ongoing personal struggles, even in the aftermath of cosmic battles. Having Anadive into this world, I sought a closer look at these events. I entered the hospital, allowing my presence to be felt by Sis.
I'm aware of your presence. You're one of those watchers. However, your presence here is unwarranted.
I witnessed the concluding moments of the battle. Why don't you share with me the events that transpired after Ki-Bong departed the trial room?
After he defeated a horde of beasts, a voice called out Ki-Bong's name, prompting him to turn around. In that moment, emotions long suppressed for 3,000 years surged within him, like a breaking dam. Before him stood his mother, and he rushed towards her, embracing her tightly as tears flowed freely. Amidst their reunion, marked by apologies for the absence of chicken, a surviving monster attacked Ki-Bong's mother. Ki-Bong, despite his powerful body, couldn't shield the one he loved, as his mother was speared by a surviving beast. June, witnessing how he effortlessly defeated the monsters, killed the survivor as Ki-Bong tended to his mother. His mother consoled him, expressing affection before losing consciousness. Overwhelmed with grief, Ki-Bong's mournful cry echoed. Ki-Bong then went on a killing spree for days before he stopped.
Wow, the combination of intense emotions like anger and grief can indeed fuel determination and resilience. Emotional states can have a profound impact on one's physical and mental abilities, sometimes pushing individuals beyond their normal limits. Ki-Bong's ability to channel these emotions might play a significant role in his ability to endure and continue to battle.
June found Ki-Bong during his monster-killing rampage. June empathized with Ki-Bong's desire to destroy monsters and dungeons, explaining the futility, as they would reappear again in time. Frustrated, Ki-Bong questioned whether enduring 3,000 years of agony, body breaking apart to dust, merely meant a return to his family. After their conversation, Ki-Bong walked away, but June offered help with his revenge in destroying the monsters and dungeons. She invited him to join the defense force, and in return, they will help his mother.
It's indeed a complex situation for Ki-Bong, as joining the government might seem like succumbing to leverage. However, sometimes individuals make such decisions when they believe it aligns with their larger goals or when they perceive a greater benefit, in this case, the potential to save his mother.
You make a valid point. Ki-Bong's unique abilities and potential could be seen as a valuable asset to his country, and the government might consider his departure a significant loss. In such cases, governments may indeed take measures to retain individuals with exceptional talents. While it may involve certain compromises, the goal is often to ensure that the country can benefit from their skills and capabilities for various purposes, including national security. This decision could be viewed as a pragmatic choice under these specific circumstances. It's fortunate that the person in charge has both a strong moral sense of responsibility and first-hand experience as a top player.
I agree.
6 months later, while visiting his unconscious mother, Ki-Bong informed her that he became a high-ranking public official. So, his busy schedule meant infrequent visits. He promised to return as much as possible. While preparing to head into a few dungeons, Ki-Bong's team ventured into a 5-star class dungeon known as the Monstrous Bird Nest. One of the team members conveyed to Ki-Bong that this was the final dungeon slated to break for the month. Ki-Bong swiftly commanded the group to stand by and proceeded to face the impending monster threat. Ki-Bong requesting me to locate the boss as he killed surrounding monsters. My scan identified the boss Albatross. Ki-Bong faced it while his team observed. They prepared to collect spirit stones as the dungeon entrance opened, and they were attacked by unknown people.
Is that one-sided ass-whooping still within the bounds of a PG-13 rating, or would it require a rating of teen or mature due to its intensity?
I've witnessed him unleash even greater power when consumed by rage. Hence, I would categorize this as suitable for a teen rating. It's noteworthy that thus far, no adversary has compelled Ki-Bong to utilize more than 50% of his body enhancement stateful power. A black sphere known as a Daystone emerged from the defeated monster. When Ki-Bong inquired about further details, I could only provide its name. However, I mentioned that if I were to absorb it, my systems would receive enhancements. Frustrated by the fact that most of my functions was offline, Ki-Bong sighed but agreed to let me absorb the Daystone to strengthen myself when I informed him of this fact. After absorption, I gained human analysis and emotion-like expression functions. Ki-Bong, noticing others in the dungeon, appeared surprising them as he approaches this unknown group. Feeling their powerful aura, inquired if they were from the Shield Guild. Tensions rose, but Ki-Bong's attack was not personal. It was payback for attacking his team. Considered the strongest guild in South Korea, the Shield Guild faced defeat by Ki-Bong, who easily defeated them. Little did we anticipate the pettiness of the Shield Guild following their defeat, but I'll delve into that later. Ki-Bong found himself at Abyssal Beach, a 4-star dungeon engaged in his routine monster hunting. During the encounter with a whale-like creature, he discovered another Daystone. When he inquired for more details about the Daystone, I regretfully explained the impossibility due to being in offline mode, severed from the source, thus limiting my knowledge. Observing Ki-Bong's frustration, I unveiled the option for me to absorb the Daystone, elucidating the benefits, including a system upgrade and access to the dungeon source. After considering the proposal, Ki-Bong agreed to allow me to absorb the Daystone once again. After absorption, I went over some of my new functions with Ki-Bong, who seemed a bit more pleased. We departed the dungeon shortly thereafter. Landing on a rooftop, Ki-Bong requested me to locate the nearest bus stop. I surprised him by asking why he didn't fly. His response was, he felt someone following him. Ki-Bong suspected the Shield Guild, but couldn't sense any hostility. Ordering me to analyze the man failed, leaving Ki-Bong frustrated. The pursuer approached, sitting beside him with a smile. Boarding a bus, Ki-Bong chose not to engage, surprised to find the man already beside him. Ki-Bong reached the base, still followed by a mysterious man. Soldiers questioned if the man was his brother, but Ki-Bong denied any connection. Inside the base, Ki-Bong pondered the significance of the dungeon's source and decided to gather more Daystones for me. Changing attire, he noticed the mysterious man outside his window being pursued by soldiers. The soldiers at the base apprehended the mysterious man following Ki-Bong.
Most men would have freaked out at that scene, but Ki-Bong remained surprisingly calm, even in the face of this rather interesting situation.
Ki-Bong questioned the man's identity, learning that he emerged from the rift and expressing a desire to live with him. Despite the vice captain's warning, the mysterious man sought to become a soldier. The vice captain accepted the challenge, with the condition that the man must defeat him to join the team. The vice captain started a fight with the mysterious man. Ki-Bong intervened, introducing himself and learning the man's name was Kang Hwai. Ki-Bong warned the vice captain that Kang Hwai was not someone to fight, emphasizing the importance of analyzing an opponent's strength. The vice captain felt remorseful for lacking strength. Kang Hwai then asked Ki-Bong if his words were directed towards him. Ki-Bong confirmed and inquired if Kang Hwai still wanted to fight. Kang Hwai expressed his desire, a notion Ki-Bong's team found crazy. Kang Hwai initiated the attack against Ki-Bong, who effortlessly avoided it and landed a kick. However, Kang Hwai blocked the kick, surprising Ki-Bong. Undeterred, Ki-Bong continued his assault while questioning Kang Hwai's identity and purpose. Kang Wai remained elusive, deeming it a secret. In response, Kang Wai delivered a powerful kick that pushed Ki-Bong back, marking the first time he had been knocked back. Kang Wai then unleashed an energy ball attack, deflected by Ki-Bong. When asked if it was magic, Kang Wai confirmed its similarity to Ki and proceeded to launch multiple energy balls, astonishing the other team members. As Kang Wai wondered if he had landed a hit, Ki-Bong appeared unharmed. However, Ki-Bong, angered by his damaged clothes, decided it was his turn to attack. Impressed, Kang Wai forfeited the fight and jokingly suggested staying after winning against the vice captain. But Ki-Bong was not finished. So he punched Kang Wai, knocking him out.
Ouch. Ki-Bong's finishing move landing on Kang Wai was like Lord Beerus delivering a one-hit knockout in Dragon Ball Super.
A few days later, an emergency news report sounded the alarm of an impending danger, urging all people to head to nearby safe zones. The Air Force was dispatched to survey the area, which was on the verge of breaking and considered a forbidden zone. This self-made dungeon had been created by a red dragon 10 years ago. Ki-Bong and his team were assigned as the vanguard to buy time for the Prime Minister to gather the country's strongest guilds. However, shockingly, Ki-Bong's team was expelled when attempting to enter the dungeon, a situation unprecedented and unsettling. Kang Wai, ever the one for a bit of humor, asked if it meant that only the two of them would be enjoying all the fun. But the atmosphere took a dark turn when Ki-Bong felt a surge of killing intent and swiftly switched to his enhanced state. What astonished both of us was that the attacker managed to land a blow on Ki-Bong, breaking a streak of invincibility he had held since leaving the trial zone.
What exactly transpired in the trial zone for Ki-Bong to become so powerful that he hasn't sustained any injuries since then?
After losing consciousness, Kim Ki-Bong found himself in a room, surprised to see his injuries miraculously gone. I welcomed him to the awakening area. Initiating the awakening test, a monster appeared, and I tasked him with attacking it. Frustration mounted as Ki-Bong deemed the quest impossible. The monster attacked, killing him, and a message announced his failure. Upon regeneration, he faced his previous corpse, triggering disgust. The cycle repeated. The monster reappeared. Panic set in, and Ki-Bong died again. In confusion, Ki-Bong questioned me about the entity communicating with him, the location, and the purpose of his presence. My response clarified his existence in the awakening test area for fair testing. Humans had transcendent potential, and once Ki-Bong landed a hit, the test would end, assuring him that dying had no lasting consequences. Despite doubt, Ki-Bong accepted his situation. Realizing he had no alternative, dodging the monster's attack, he successfully awakened, gaining a skill called body enhancement. Excitement turned to disappointment when error messages appeared, revealing an inability to leave due to an unknown error. The test restarted, and Ki-Bong faced the monster again. The cycle of death and regeneration continued for weeks, months, and eventually years. His mind deteriorated, yet his strength soared, from constant battles. Stats were in perpetual flux until Ki-Bong grew powerful enough to shatter the dimensional wall separating the trial zone from Earth. 10 years pass in Earth time, but for Ki-Bong, he was trapped for 3,000 years.